Hi everyone, welcome to my video of my top 10 favourite Christmas films. So yes, finally here to put this up, of course. Very close, to Christmas, and yes, this is going to be great to do. I thought, it's been very hard, but I had to get this up, because it's been hard to order, I guess, some of these films, and I thought perhaps I might not order some of them, but I went ahead and I gave the best kind of ordering that I could based on my love for these films. So it's the most accurate, I guess, that I could have got this, at least this year. But yes, again, I'd say 10. And some of these numbers after my 10th pick. These films here, perhaps they're not fully ordered, but 99.9%. They are as accurate as I could have got them. The actual ordering of these films, but the top five, I guess, is very much solid, and that won't really change. But yes, very hard. Of course, I've not seen every single Christmas film out there, and so yes, there could be perhaps as well, films that I watch in the future that could perhaps get into the the kind of 10 or 9 spot. Who knows? But yes, for now, this is my list. It's took a while, I guess, but I thought I'd get this up, and it'd be great to hear your top 10 favourites in the comments. I'd love to see that, and top 5 or top 20, all this kind of stuff. Whatever you want to do. If you want, of course, leave it in the comments, and it'd be great to see. And yes, just celebrate Christmas with this kind of video here. But yes, I will give some honourable mentions first. Some films that I love that I guess not as much as these top 10 kind of films here. But yes, Elf, a film that I watched again yesterday. Will Ferrell, of course. Really nice film, and I think it's just so entertaining, and really love Elf. It's grown on me, I guess, as well over the years. I liked it. I always liked it, but now I really do, and I guess it's just such a kind of magical film, and really hilarious comedy as well. And yes, another film, Bad Santa. Another kind of comedy Christmas film, and I love this film. It's so great in my opinion, and yes. Another film, Scrooge, from 1951. For me, this is probably kind of the best, kind of adaptation, of Christmas Carol, and just such a stunning film, and such a magical kind of experience. And yeah, I think overall, I'd probably say this is the best kind of adaptation, of that story. And yes, another one, Jingle All the Way, a film that I reviewed very recently, and I just love this film. Very good film. Of course, there are some things as well. I thought I'd mention. There are films, that we would perhaps would differ on, considering what is a Christmas film. What does it mean to be a Christmas film? And it's just, of course, a personal opinion. And for example, though, I thought I'd say The Apartment by Billy Wilder. That's a film that I absolutely love, of course. One of my favourites. I don't consider that a Christmas film, of course. If I did, it would be my top 5 easy, but I don't. So that's a nice little thing. We do have our own different kind of opinions on what is a Christmas film, and some films, of course, it's kind of subjective. What do you feel is a Christmas film? So yes, I thought, my number 10 is one of them, kind of things here. So I thought I'd say that now. But yes, with all that said, let's commence with the list. Of course, number 10 for me, Bridget Jones's Diary. A film I personally love. This is just a great film. Renee Zellweger, she's great in this film, and of course, I saw this again, back in the summer, of course. But yes, it's a lovely film. I do consider it a Christmas film, and it kind of course, begins and ends, at Christmas and stuff. And it's a very festive film, at times as well. And I personally do, yes, consider it that. Of course, a Hugh Grant in this film. Just a massive Hugh Grant fan, and of course, Colin Firth as well. He's great. Just the characters, of course, the writing. Richard Curtis, one of the writers on this film, and massive fan. Of Richard Curtis writing and directing, of course, as well. So yes, just a great film for me, and I do love this film. I do consider it a Christmas film, and just absolutely love this film, this story, and the comedy, of course. But it's so investing, and such a warm film, and very uplifting, in my opinion. Yes. Next up, at number 9, Gremlins, another film that is just truly magical, and absolutely just you know, it has that 80s magic. It has, you know, the Christmas magic, you know, the Christmas songs that are used in the film, and as well, it is a horror film. So very, very interesting, of course, a horror Christmas film. You know, very unique, of course, in the way it's done. You know, of course, I've seen the second film as well, Gremlins 2, but you know, for me, this is far better, and absolutely just an exceptional piece of cinema. Such a great film here. You know, so magical, and of course, Gizmo, just one of my favourite characters, really. You know, kind of creatures in a film, and just such a lovely film. You know, it's got great comedy, and of course, very disturbing. You know, in the second half, but it is this uplifting family. You know, kind of feeling, this Christmas feeling, and many memories, of course. Watching this, you know, Christmas Eve, you know, Christmas Day as well, and just, you know, around the Christmas time. Love this film so much, and as well, you know, as a kid, you know, watching it at different times of the year, because not really considering or not kind of saying, feeling what is a Christmas film, and you know, watching on particular months, just kind of watching films like this, and yeah, great film for me. So many memories kind of attached to this, and yes, for me, Gremlins, you know, stunning film, and my number 9 pick. The next up at number 8 is Miracle on 34th Street from 1947. You know, of course, there's been many versions, you know, of this film, but for me, this film here, you know, is just stunning, and of course, the direction by George Seaton, you know, it's just stunning here. Of course, the acting throughout the film, but you know, just this wonderful narrative that kind of unfolds. Again, I won't ruin you know, these films, but what a film! You know, how lovely and you know, uplifting this is. Of course, Kris Kringle, you know, just trying to persuade everyone else, of course, that he is the real Santa, and from that, you know, again, just wonderful messages, you know, themes, of course, and a very short film, actually, considering you know, what the film is doing, you know, in its narrative, but you know, just really by the end of this film, it moved me so much. You know, I saw this you know, the other day, actually, and just it's so moving, and so pure, you know, in the storytelling, and just the acting across the board, you know, is wonderful, and just a lovely film that really has that kind of festive feeling, I guess, and you know, it's kind of very grounded, though. You know, it's not a film that goes, you know, very, you know, it's very hard to describe, but it's very intricate, and you know, kind of subtle at times, and you know, again, I won't get into too much, you know, the plot, but yes, wonderful film, and yes, my number 8 pick, and now yes, next up, of course, these are feature films, you know, mainly on this list, but next up, I had to include this. I had to make an exception, you know, for this film. A short film, and I'll just show it here, of course. A film that means so much to me, and again, I think this film, you know, is actually possibly, you know, in terms of quality, this could be either number 4 or 3. That's how much I think of this film, and that is The Snowman from 1982. I watched this again yesterday, and you know, I hadn't seen it for years somehow, but you know, this film here, wow, what a masterpiece this is. You know, again, this is one of the very best, I think, on this list, and again, it's very hard. I had to put it here, you know, because it is a short, you know, it's very hard to kind of compare to, you know, the feature films on this list, but for me, you know, this is just you know, a masterpiece, and one of the best kind of pieces of animation I've seen personally, but you know, so many memories of this film, and just watching it again, just, you know, breaking up, you know, throughout the film, you know, just uncontrollable, I guess, you know, kind of feelings for this film, and what it means to me, and just so special, you know, a magical film, and you know, what's kind of genius, you know, to make this film. The animation itself, wow, you know, some of the very best I've ever seen, and just a magical, you know, film about friendship, and many other different themes, of course. I won't get into this film, but you know, it's very hard to talk about, actually, because it's such a, you know, a moving film. This such a masterpiece, and I had to include this film. Again, the ordering, you could be, you know, it's just the best I kind of you know, gave this list. You know, I think the accuracy, perhaps. Don't take it too seriously, but you know, this film here, because it's a short, it was very hard to kind of compare to the other films on the list. But yeah, number 7, I thought would be a fine number, and yes, The Snowman, one of the greatest for me. And yes, next up at number 6, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Again, a wonderful film, a film that's really grown on me, you know, over the years, and you know, I've always kind of you know, had a great time watching this film, but you know, I do now think it's you know, just a legendary film, and you know, this has masterful slapstick at times, you know, massive grand, you know, kind of operatic sequences, but it's such a kind of grounded human tale, very kind of relatable, and you know, just balancing out, you know, the kind of drama and the comedy here. But you know, for me, yeah, this is kind of among, for me, the funniest films ever made. And yes, just the cast in this film, of course, you know, Chevy Chase, you know, is perfect in this role, you know, of Clark, and you know, just what a film this is, you know, always gets me in that spirit, you know, Christmas spirit, just from the opening titles, you know, opening title sequence, through the rest of the film, you know, such, you know, kind of magical, warm, and you know, hilarious film, and what a you know, interesting narrative as well, and the way it kind of incorporates you know, different messages and themes in a very specific way, but it's just so entertaining, this one, from start to finish. Wonderful film, and a magical kind of Christmas experience. So yes, now we reach the top 5, and you know, this, I guess this list, as I say, it was kind of hard to order the numbers before that, you know, below that, but number 5, you know, it's definitely very solid, and I guess, you know, the ordering here, you know, is very much, you know, an accurate representation of my love for these films, and these are all, for me, I think, actually masterpieces as well. And you know, my number 5 pick is Home Alone, of course, from 1990, and you know, this film here, I guess, you know, many would say, you know, they were expecting this, you know, this film on many different lists. You know, you kind of see this crop up. Really, for most people, you know, as one of their favourites, at least, kind of Christmas films. For me, this is just, you know, a truly magical film, easily the best kind of Home Alone film as well. The slapstick, you know, in this film, and just the comedy, especially in the final act, you know, it's just so funny, of course. But you know, Chris Columbus, you know, was a very special director with these films. You know, Mrs. Doubtfire as well, and I just love what he done. You know, of kind of making comedic films, you know, really hilarious films, warm, charming, kind of out there, but really, by the end of these films, really bring them together in a way that truly moves me. And you know, to say that this film moves me, you know, with its, you know, kind of final moments, that's an understatement. I love this film so much. The characters, you know, different threads that kind of go different ways, and the way it comes together in the end, just so magical, you know, undescribable kind of feelings for this film. Really moving film. But yeah, it's just a hilarious film. A lovely kind of Christmas feeling, I guess, and just the feeling and the importance, you know, family is so kind of well done in this film. Of course, Macaulay Culkin in this film gives a great performance, and you know, really, mainly just kind of centering on him throughout most of the film, and later on, of course, we have different characters come into it, and of course, the idea, of course, you know, of being left alone, you know, kind of at the Christmas time, is something very unique, and the way this was pulled off, of course, just you know, movie magic for me. And yes, number 5, and yes, my number 4 pick. This one here, you could say it's divisive, you know, it seems, but for me, it's an absolute masterpiece, and that is The Polar Express, and a film that I kind of, since I saw this when I was very young, you know, just, it means so much to me. You know, it's so moving and magical. You know, to call this film magical, wow, you know, it really is underplaying it. But you know, from the very first kind of scenes in the film, you know, just reeled into this narrative, and such a kind of lovely film. This so magical, and the many life lessons, you know, I think that are kind of portrayed in this film. It's just really wonderful. Of course, Tom Hanks, you know, kind of voicing various characters, many different characters in this film. But you know, it's such a kind of yeah, beautiful piece of animation. I personally love the animation in this film, and yes, for me though, this is just so you know, kind of masterfully directed. You know, and of course, Robert Zemeckis, you know, is just one of my favourite directors of all time, and this film here is just one of his masterpieces for me. You know, again, a divisive film, but I am really in defence of this, and I just think it's an underappreciated masterpiece, actually, and just so wonderful. The music, of course, and Silvestri, you know, it's just, you know, god tier composing here, and just what a wonderful film this is from start to finish. You know, an adventure that I've never forgotten, and always rewatch, of course, around the kind of Christmas period. So yes, and number 4, The Polar Express. And so yes, my number 3, you could say is an unexpected pick, you know, I guess. But, you know, for me, I did mention as well earlier in this video, Richard Curtis, and yes, number 3 is Love Actually, of course, from 2003. Now, this film here, written and directed by Richard Curtis, and you know, for me, this is just a masterpiece. It really, really is. You know, a lovely film, and one that really, it's just one of the best kind of ensembles, you know, and you know, just of all time, really. And what a lovely film, magical. Although, you know, it has many different characters, it's so perfectly balanced. You know, the kind of different storylines, of course, intertwining characters, and you know, just you know, these themes of love, I guess, and you know, happiness. You know, really, just so wonderful to see this. You know, kind of played out in this film. You know, kind of a decent length as well. We have many different characters being introduced, and the way this comes together in that final act is just, you know, it brings me to tears. It really is just such a moving film, this, and you know, of course, a hilarious film. You know, the comedy, once again, Richard Curtis balancing out the comedy and the drama, and just such an investing film here. You know, many different, you know, kind of threads in this film. You know, character storylines that are so investing, I feel, and just so such a kind of romantic film, and as well as being, you know, such a great and defining for me, you know, Christmas film. And you know, I personally love this film. I think it's very very much you know, an underappreciated work, and I think just an absolute masterpiece for me personally. So yes, that's my number 3. So yes, my next 2 picks here, you know, these 2 here, both very, very high, you know, in my top 100 films, favourites, of course, and especially my number 1 pick. But yes, number 2 is a film that, yes, people do debate whether this is a Christmas film or not. For me, it definitely is, and you know, for a number of reasons. But yes, my number 2 pick is Die Hard, of course, from 1988. What a legendary film! This is, you know, just one of the greatest action films ever made, and just, yes, everyone knows, you know, on this channel, I guess, you know, I love action films, and you know, this film here is so magical, you know, so thrilling, and you know, kind of feel good, of course, and intense as well. You know, so the level of tension in this film, wow! But of course, Alan Rickman playing, you know, one of the best kind of villains of all time. And yes, 2 Alan Rickman films here, you know, Love Actually and then Die Hard. But you know, this guy was just such a legend to me. And yes, you know, this film here, of course, Bruce Willis playing one of the best protagonists of all time for me. And yes, just a magical experience. You know, I guess most people kind of have seen Die Hard, and yes, for me, it just is, you know, one of the best films ever made, and you know, definitely a Christmas film, and gets me in that spirit, you know, I guess. You know, I didn't watch it this year, but I will be watching it again next year. I've seen it many, many times, you know, in different months, of course, of the year, not just December, but I think it's definitely best to kind of watch yeah, this film in December, or at least it's best to kind of watch it for your Christmas, at least my Christmas, to kind of enhance it, and to get that feeling, and just once again, a legendary film here, and one of the absolute greatest in all of cinema. So yes, we've finally reached the top spot, and my number 1 pick. Now this is a film that is easily my favourite. You know, it's by far the best Christmas film to me, and one of the 20 you know, best films ever made, actually, for me. This is a film that, you know, I've watched every year, at least for the last few years, and it's just a film that means so much to me. You know, it's a film that really is life-changing, life-saving, and you know, just one of the absolute you know, finest magnum opuses of all time, and that is It's a Wonderful Life, directed by Frank Capra, starring my second favourite actor of all time, Jimmy Stewart. And this film here, you know, just, as I say, life-changing, and what better time to watch this than, you know, around the Christmas period, you know, in the month of December, at any time really. But yes, you know, for me, it's so good that it's actually the thing I look forward to the most, you know, about Christmas, is watching this film. You know, that's just, what an achievement this is. You know, just rewatching this, you know, is currently my favourite thing to do around December. So yes, it means so much to me. You know, it really is. It is to me now, you know, Christmas, number 1 kind of thing that I do. You know, is watching this film. I'm so obsessed with this. You know, the different story beats, of course. You know, this is kind of an epic in many regards. You know, the story of this man's life, and at the same time, it is a Christmas film, and for me, the Christmas film. It's the one that gets me in that spirit. It's just the gift of gifts to kind of watch this film. I guess just to experience this life-changing narrative. Jimmy Stewart giving one of the absolute 10 greatest for me performances in cinema. In this film, and his absolute greatest actually performance and film by far, and just what a film this is. Of course, the final act is when it really, it's just at times, possibly top 10 material actually, and it's just mind blowing the level of emotion that I get from this film. Very interestingly, kind of upon release, it didn't really do too well, and it's very, very strange that I just can't really understand that. But over the years, it kind of grew and grew, and now it is considered one of the best films ever made, and for some people this is their favourite. For me personally, absolutely, easily my favourite, and yes, for me, It's Wonderful Life, my number one pick. So yes, that's it. That's my list. It's a film for me that just is, the shining, Christmas film, and one that perhaps at times I forget it's a Christmas film, being so wrapped up in this and this narrative. But by the end of this film, it just it's the one for me, and I just can't, express how much I love this film. Perhaps I will give this another, kind of review. I will be watching it very, very soon, and yes, perhaps I will re-review this film. So yes, with that said, that's my list, my top 10 favourites, of course. What are your favourite Christmas films? This would be lovely to see, and if you want to, you can leave this in the comments, and we can kind of discuss this, and I can see your favourites, and we can share our thoughts, and just celebrating in some way Christmas through, of course, cinema, and it's a great thing to do, and Christmas films, more to me it is Christmas. That's what I do. That's the number one kind of thing that gets me in the mood, and lets me kind of feel like it's actually Christmas. So yes, that's it. That's the kind of the idea here. Cinema once again, just being the kind of number one thing for me, and for December, and around this time as well, watching films, Christmas films. It's just lovely to do, and be interested to hear what you've watched this year around the Christmas time, and what are your favourites? If you want, you can leave that in the comments, and we can kind of see each other's lists, and yes, what do you have to say about these films? It'd be great to hear your thoughts on these films, and just your favourites. This would be lovely to do, and what better time to do this than just before Christmas, of course. So yes, that's it for now. We'll wrap up, and it's been great to do. I've really enjoyed making this list, compiling this, of course, and again, not every single number is 100% accurate, perhaps, but 99.9%, I think currently I came to a conclusion, on the ordering of these films. But again, I could see next year some more Christmas films that could make it onto the list. So yes, with that said though, that's my current list, of my top 10 favourite Christmas films. And once again, it'd be great to hear yours. And just once again, all the best for this time. Merry Christmas, of course. And I hope you have a great time, and just continue to celebrate this kind of festive season, and yes, films and everything else, of course. All the best, and I hope you're happy at this time, and of course safe and well. Take care once again, and as always, thanks for watching.